Hi, welcome back to Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and today we are with the 2013 Lexus LS460. Now, something interesting about this car is that it is a pre-production model, so we're going to have to be careful about the details we give you, but in this real first impressions video, we can tell you some things that you'll think when you see it for the first time. So, join us.
From the front, the 2013 Lexus LS460 is the largest full-size sedan that they offer. It is indeed their luxury flagship, and it's available in this standard wheelbase and a long wheelbase configuration. Now, some things to point out about the design for 2013 is that this car does have the continuation of the spindle grille design. This indeed is one of the largest versions of that spindle grille design that you'll find in the Lexus family. You'll also notice that this car has the high intensity discharge by xenon headlamps and an adaptive front lighting system, dynamic auto leveling and integrated LED fog lamps, and turn signals, and of course, like most of the Lexus family now, it has LED daytime running lamps. However, if you've seen our IS Real First Impression for 2014, these daytime running lights are still integrated in the front headlight cluster, not separated from. Also notice the detail in this car from the front. These cars are a lot more interesting and have a lot more sculpting to them than they did 10 or 15 years ago. From the side, you can really see the size of this vehicle and that it indeed is large and it's meant to be comfortable. Notice some of the little accents like the chrome strip at the lower portion of the doors. It does have turn signal indicators in the mirrors, which have become fairly standard on these cars. You can't really see it from this view, but it does have some of the finning to keep the wind going around the car appropriately to keep it more stable. So you'll notice that next to the mirror, and notice that the mirrors are again removed like a lot of the Lexuses from actually being mounted stock to the side of the corner of the door there. It's actually out on the ledge on its own post, and that helps in stability and a lot of other wind management type of items for the handling and stability of the car. Also, this car has the 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels, and you can really see the body lines here on the car and the sculpting coming off the hood and all the way down into the front and into that front spindle grille design. It is a nice looking sedan. It is a modest, I would say a reserved look with a little bit of flair, which is exactly what you want for most luxury cars. A little bit of design, a little bit of flair, but nothing too ostentatious. From the back, the 2013 Lexus LS460. This is probably the area of the car that I'm least thrilled with because, I mean, you still see the sculpting, but because you have to have a good sized trunk and there's really not a lot you can do with the size of the vehicle, I still find this less pleasing from a tail light design than some of the other vehicles in the Lexus family. I think the GS really looks nicer from the rear, but you will notice that the rear view camera hangs down just a little bit there under the Lexus symbol under that chrome trim, so it does have rear view camera. You also can see the park assist, the little buttons there in the back that really do help with a car of this size. Dual exhaust, and a feature you can't see but we can tell you about is that this does have the auto opening and closing rear trunk, and that's a nice feature to have for when you've got a handful of groceries, luggage, or otherwise, and you can just walk up to it, hit the button on the key fob, or someone can hit the button on the underside of the trunk and it'll open up for you and close for you as you walk around to get into the car. So overall, still a nice vehicle from Lexus. Oh, and if you can kind of see it on the edge of the rear taillights, there's little fins. Those go back to the wind management that we talked about earlier. From the driver's seat, the 2013 Lexus LS460 is indeed a luxury vehicle. The thing about the 460 is that you can get it optioned up pretty much with anything you can imagine, or you can get it a little more oh, bare bones, you could say, I mean, for a luxury car. But this one is pretty well optioned, even though it is a pre-production model. So we do have to be careful about the packages, because we know from what is available today that they have announced that this car has the comfort package, the climate comfort front seats, power rear sunshade, and a one-touch power trunk open and close that we mentioned previously. It also has heated rear seats. The other thing that is neat about this car is that you have memory seats on both sides, so driver and passenger, which is just a nice comfort touch. Something else we like to point out is that it does have the electronic seatbelt height adjustment, which is something that Lexus has had for quite a long time, so you still have that. This vehicle also has the heated wood steering wheel, so it's a leather wrap and wood steering wheel. A lot of nice features in this car, including the leather with the semi-aniline leather trimmed interior. It also has the headliner upgrade. Just a ton of nice touches, including the power leg extension that you can see there in this view of the interior. And that really helps for long drives or just to be more comfortable when you're in the car. And that's what this car is all about, comfort. But it also has technology wrapped into it with the 12.3-inch navigation system and the Lexus Inform app suite. It also has intuitive park assist and auto door closers in case you don't get your doors shut all the way, it'll pull them shut. Some cool features that you might not have even thought about. Under the hood, well, you're going to find a lot of plastic. This is commented on by most reviewers. You really can't see the engine at all, and that's the way Lexus likes it. Frankly, this is a luxury sedan. This is a vehicle that you are supposed to drive, enjoy, or be driven in. I mean, that would be nice. So really, they don't want you to even think about what's under the hood, but what they do want you to know is that it is the tried and true 4.6 liter V8 engine. It is 386 horsepower in this model because we do have the rear wheel drive. This is what they would consider the base LS460, but you can get all-wheel drive in this vehicle, but you will lose a little bit of horsepower. The all-wheel drive only has 360 horsepower. So 386 horsepower, 16 miles per gallon in town, 24 miles per gallon out on the highway, and 19 miles per gallon combined. And that's not bad for a large luxury sedan, frankly, with that much horsepower. 8-speed sequential shift automatic, and of course their electronically controlled transmission that everybody is probably familiar with from Lexus. Now, the thing is if you go up to the all-wheel drive, which some people in Colorado would really probably like in other inclement climate areas, you can get an all-wheel drive in this, as I mentioned, and you will only drop 1 mile per gallon on the highway and combined. Otherwise, the numbers stay the same. So, pretty good from a large luxury vehicle like this, and who wants to touch all that stuff under the hood anyway, right? So, the plastic keeps it covered. You rinse it off once in a while to keep it clean and pretty, and enjoy driving the vehicle. Hitting the road in the 2013 Lexus LS460. Well, it's an interesting experience only because you would think it would be a frumpy experience, but actually the LS460 has evolved pretty well over the years to be a pleasurable driving experience with good power coming from the V8 engine and good steering and suspension characteristics. The first impression is that it's smooth, powerful, and honestly, you don't feel like you're driving a frumpy vehicle. You just feel like you're driving a very large luxury sedan. Now, I can't deny that it might be better sitting in the back seat than sitting behind the wheel. But if you do want to drive one of these on a regular basis, you're going to find it smooth, comfortable, and pretty quick for something that is very heavy, long, and carries a lot of passengers in comfort.
So that's the real first impressions video review of the 2013 Lexus LS460. Now, this is the pre-production model, and what that means is that some of these things can change and more details will come available. But what we can tell you is that this car, as tested, is about between $74,000 and $75,000. It's an expensive, big, luxury sedan. It's got a lot of options, including the heated and cooled front seats with the auto feature. It's got the Mark Levinson sound system upgrade. It's also got things like active cruise control or adaptive cruise control so that it will modulate your speed on the highway for you. It's a nice feature if you're in traffic a lot, and this one will even bring you to a complete stop so that if you're not paying attention for some reason, you won't run into the car in front of you. Now, it's also got rain sensing wipers and a bunch of other cool things, and does get decent gas mileage. When we drove it, over 200 miles in one day. We were seeing close to the 20 to 22 mile per gallon range, and that's a combined rating that the system on board was telling us. Not bad for such a big car. Now, there are some things that we're going to have to fill you in on the real review, so hopefully we'll see a production model in the future. I'm Jonathan McGrew for Real Auto Reports. Check out our other Lexus vehicles on the YouTube page, like the GS350 F Sport and the 450H, and we'll see you down the road.